You know, my little fawn, in life, you only have two ways out. Either escaping or disappearing. But sometimes, you're unable to disappear. And escaping from yourself, well, that sure ain't easy. So, when that happens, in your opinion, what's left to do? We can try to find out together if you want. When Diane and I were little, Mary would tell us bedtime stories. She would make up animal fables with all kinds of mystery and conflict. Savage world, she called it. Female wolves, bears, or scorpions would find themselves in imminent danger, but they could always manage it on their own, swindling and betraying the boorish, idiotic males. Mary wanted us to be strong, courageous, and independent women, except it also made me a bit fearful of the world. Alex gifted me most of these books. It started as a joke. Every time I had an issue, Alex would find the book to address it. Some of the worst titles, too. How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Who Moved My Cheese? I was reading them casually, but they still helped me move on. Alex would call it the emergency library. But when I found myself alone, the library didn't work anymore. At first, I stayed in the apartment for days. I wouldn't go outside. I barely recognized my own voice when I opened the door for food deliveries. I could have disappeared. No one would have known. Yet the air traveling through the lungs, the bowels gurgling, the teeth grinding, even a heart beating. That much is clear now. In fact, Alex and Marie are like two sides of the same coin for me. Marie was a model of strength, of courage, and determination. Everyone admires her, but she is completely unattainable. Alex was my crutch, my unwavering support. I came to believe that I would crumble without him. And I was dependent on her as much as him. Unable to manage on my own, but that was before. I guess you understand now, my little fawn. Your dad and I separated. And for the first time in my life, I was living alone. At 34 years old, I had no idea how to do that. And he didn't fix everything. But come to think of it, it may be the reason I began looking for who I really was. think I just figured out why I love movies so much. When I was a teenager, my life didn't seem real. I couldn't say for sure that I existed, but in movies, people had pure and intense emotions. I loved that. Any fiction was a documentary to me. When I found myself alone, I fell back into that zone. I watched hundreds of movies, obscure comedies, blockbusters, absurd schlock. I was looking for a template that would explain to me how to feel. Except it didn't work this time. I needed more. From the day you died, I had been sleeping a lot. I was still tired when I woke up, but at least it passed the time. Then everything changed. Sleeplessness kicked in. I spent my nights trying to understand, what am I still doing here? I lived surrounded with cardboard boxes for months. I was unable to open them. It was physically impossible. But it didn't bother me much. I've never been a homemaker anyway. Also, if I had an off day, instead of blame it on the life that was put away in those boxes. Do you remember this cup? Every morning you would drink your hot cocoa from it. I had to take it out of the dishwasher so many times. You wanted nothing else. It was in a box for a while. I thought about it, sometimes when I thought about you. It was there. One day I pulled it out of one of the boxes. I wanted a hot cocoa, and it slipped out of my hands. My heart skipped a beat in that moment. I held my breath for 1 second. And then, nothing. I just picked up the pieces one by one and threw them in the garbage. I wondered whether I was a monster for not... I was tired of being sad. Tired. I stayed strong. And it turns out that being able to do that changed everything. That day I realized that I was strong and that I could do it alone. Then I understood. I turned on my computer and I started typing. Not a soap opera episode like I was writing before you died. It was something personal, a movie script. A beautiful, kind of sad story. It could be a nice feature if I ever finish it one day. I was surprised to feel the desire to write, but now I understand how priceless it was. It allowed me to switch roles. I was no longer the grieving mother, or the young divorcee, or the daughter of. I was writing. I was becoming an author. I was inventing a reality that was just as valid as another. You know, I was telling the truth earlier when I said that there were only two ways out in life. But whether you escape or disappear, in the end you're doing the same thing. Now I understand that I had to find another way. And complete solitude allowed me to face the void and to rewrite myself. It was the only way for me to change completely, from the ground up.
Don't you want everything to be just like before?
Alex and I can reinvent ourselves. I know that we can. But that's going to require a lot more work. I would love for things to work out that way, Alex. Just like in the movies. But the scene when they get back together, the happy end, we all know that's not happening. Too bad. You're at least as sexy as Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and I definitely have better abs.
I noticed that the other day. Is that new?
See? You're missing out.
I'm sorry things ended the way they did between us. I left because I was losing my bearings. And I felt like you were also going off track. You know, trying to convince us that we would be okay.
I was trying to help you.
That's the problem. I didn't need help. I needed to come to terms with what happened, not help erasing it. I couldn't keep leaning so much on you. I couldn't stand it. I had reached a breaking point. If I didn't make a big change, I would have... But I was not allowed to die. I had no right. So I tried living. All the people who matter to me have something in common. They all taught me that I could live without someone else. Marie taught me that I could live without a father, that I could exist as a woman in a world created for men. But she never taught me what it was like to be loved. Alex taught me that I could live without Marie. All of a sudden, I was worth more than I thought, and she much less than I thought. But what he loved the most about me was that he could be there for me. I don't hold it against him. We are who we are. He loved me, but he didn't help me love myself. And then you were there, and you taught me the most important thing. You taught me that I could live, even without Marie, even without Alex, even without you. Without you.
You know, I changed too.
I believe you, Alex.
So don't you think it may be a good time to try again?
We can't try again if we're strangers to each other.
Wow. That's a Nobel Wisdom Prize right there.
That's not even a thing.
Exactly.
You know... Oh, I don't know if I should tell him this, but... I will always love you. And oftentimes I think to myself that we could start something new. We'd hop in the car and road trip through Ardèche. I would take off my flip-flops and rest my bare feet on the dashboard. And you would yell at me because that's nasty.
That is definitely nasty.
Oh, nastier than your damn Tupperware up in the fridge?
Nastier than your clumps of hair in the bathroom sink?
Probably not. But then I realized that all of these are memories. Some are good, many are, but some are dreadful. Those memories with you, they're too much to handle. Which means I don't have a choice. I have to leave it all behind. You understand?
Then, what about last week?
Look, Alex, I don't want to hurt him, but... That's besides the point. I don't know why I did what I did. I don't even know why I went to your house.
Because you wanted to see me.
It's true. I'm telling you, I have no idea why I went. Maybe it was out of habit? I think that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Alex. His way of figuring stuff out has always fascinated me. I'm woefully unable to make a decision without mulling over it for years. More than anything, I miss his faith. His faith in me. Of course, I wanted to see you. I told you I did. Anyway, it was really stupid, and I probably hurt you.
Come on, June, stop that. Last week you were happy. For the first time since I can remember.
What would you know? We haven't seen each other in months.
That is true. And it wasn't my call. You're the one who left. And I respected your choice. I learned how to live without you. And you showed up on my doorstep out of fucking nowhere? What am I supposed to think?
Yeah, he's totally right about that. I'm sorry, Alex. I truly am. I know you're angry and...
I'm not angry.
But I was in a bad place. I didn't know what to do. I needed to see someone.
Why not your sister then? Or call a girlfriend? Even your mother, for that matter. You came to see me because I know what you are feeling. I understand your pain. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so. You don't understand anything. Well, if you really understand, then why do I... Why the hell do I feel so alone? No one can understand what I feel, ever. No one can tell me how to live with this, how to do this. It's a gaping hole in the fabric of life, and living with that big a hole in you it's impossible. Do you remember your dollhouse? Marie gave it to you. She had built it herself in secret. It was really detailed. There were even miniature figurines of Alex and I for you to play with. Of course you remember. You took to it immediately. You were making up all kinds of stories about daily life where you were the hero. It's true. I did it. I stole your house from Alex and threw it away. I don't know why. Could you forgive me? If I had a really good reason? This is Pauline, your father's new girlfriend. Actually, we've known her since high school, but I haven't seen her in a while. When I went to Alex's house, I was kind of hoping I would get to see her. I was curious. She's a great girl, you know. I'm sure your dad will be happy with her. She's one of those people who hasn't lost their sense of wonder growing up. In that regard, she actually reminds me of you. Your dad is still making video games, but he quit the big company he used to work for. Now he's making a game on his own. I don't know much about it. I think it's about you. In a way, every game he ever worked on talked about you. The games you were playing together actually gave him tons of ideas for his work. He started doing it at work, just so that he could meet his deadlines. Sometimes we did it together, at parties for fun. Oh, all right, I know it's bad, but when we knew that you were coming, we stopped. And that's why I was surprised to see some at his place last week. He tried to hide it, but I laughed in his face. I'm not his mom. Still, though, I thought to myself it was a bad sign. I thought Alex had gotten rid of that house when he cleaned out your room. After you passed, I never wondered where it was. I just forgot about it. Some people say that the dead haunt houses. I was afraid that you would haunt that one. Afraid to hear your voice if I stared at it for too long. I pictured Alex alone in his office, using his job as an excuse to play with your house. I found that pitiful. That didn't fit at all with the idea I had of him, always moving forward, never moping around. And then I realized that maybe he wasn't telling me everything about his feelings. Alex looked gaunt. Not just because of the blow, it was like he'd been crying. I tried to talk to him, ask him how he was doing. He just dodged the question. So I insisted. But he said he wanted to show me something, and he started a video game. Something called Night Call. A murder mystery noir where you play a taxi driver. It was really good, but it's hard to have a conversation with a controller in your hands. Perhaps I threw away that house because I was mad at Alex. His whole stuck in nostalgia thing, I found it incredibly offensive. Perhaps I threw away the house to shake up Alex, to get a reaction from him, so he could be mad at me, so he could snap out of his lurch. Alex moved into this place with his new girlfriend about a year ago. He looked happy. Suburban homes aren't my thing, but I was relieved that he had finally left the apartment where the three of us had lived. When I learned that Alex and Pauline were moving in together, I thought he had turned the page. Do you want to know what I felt? It's complicated. I think I was impressed. Once more, your father had demonstrated that he was stronger than me, and I'd like to say that I was happy for him. But in truth, I envied him. Your father had everything. A new girlfriend, a nice house, his life on track. Meanwhile, I was over here, toiling, slowly crawling out of the hole. And I needed to see him, so he could comfort me. Just like before, I thought he owed me that. Perhaps I threw away that house because I was jealous of Alex's new life. In fact, I might have wanted to show your father what he was losing by losing us. We had a great night in the end. We drank beers, we played, we laughed. And after a while, he asked me what I was doing there, really. I thought about telling him the truth, but instead I kissed him. I don't know what came upon me. He kissed me, and more. It was very nice. Much more intense than it used to be before. And it made me want to cry because that was way too late. Perhaps I threw away that house because that was my gift to him. Perhaps I thought I'm sure all of that contributed to my reaction, to a certain extent. I was jealous, a bit petty, conflicted, and on top of that, I was a dollhouse thief. But there was something else, something that really hurt me, and that I'm only understanding now. I was ashamed. But when I came across that dollhouse, I realized that he missed you as much as I did, which is actually why I threw it away. That's the reason. The dollhouse was proof that for years I had been blinded. I was ashamed to only realize now that he too was hurting.
I understand your pain. Don't you think?
How is this possible? How did I not realize that he was hurting too? And how come he never told me about it? Well, how about you, Alex? Should we talk about that?
What? What do you mean?
How many times have we talked about Astrid together? About her death? Dozens of times? Hundreds, maybe?
That's because we needed to.
I needed that. That was the only thing I could talk about, and Alex was always there to listen to me. To check how I'm doing, to inquire about my feelings, to assess my needs, to ask if there was anything else he... And I never asked him any questions. You're right. We needed to. But each time, we were actually talking about me, never about you.
Come on, again with this shit. Pauline is always trying to make me talk to. I don't have anything to say. What am I supposed to say?
There's no way you never felt the need to talk about those feelings. That whole time when you finally got me to calm down and fall asleep? How did you feel? What did you think?
I don't know. I can't remember. Why are you dragging this up now?
Because I never thought to ask you back then.
Well, that's all right. I'm okay. I was okay. It's not your fault.
He's still doing it. He's still trying to protect me all the time. He needs to understand that things have changed. Yes, it is my fault. You were alone with your sadness. But now I'm thinking to myself that it wasn't fair. You know, I just realized something and I'm so ashamed about it. You're hurt too, and that didn't even occur to me until now.
I was thinking about you.
Not about Astrid?
When I was alone at night, I was thinking about what I needed to do to help you get better. That's all I thought about. You needed me. That kept me going. And now that you're no longer here...
I lived in fear of everything for a long time. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of making mistakes, fear of not being good enough, not smart enough. And Alex was an antidote against all these fears. At least, as long as they were all in my head. But you know, since what happened to you, I haven't feared anything. Perhaps because I don't have much left to lose. I can take care of myself. You were the best support one could hope for. And that's why I now feel confident to do it on my own. You're free now.
Free from what?
Free to face your own emotions and deal with them, to heal your own pain.
You know, if I ever think too much about her, about how much I miss her, I have to stop. It makes me dizzy, it scares me. I'm pathetic.
Of course you're not. I understand.
Last week to me, that was just like before.
Alex? Are you still there? Marie had this weird rule back home. You only get to cry. It didn't matter the reason, from bike falls to headaches to world hunger. She had this theory that there are two reasons one might cry. Either from surprise, when life sucker punches you, or from cowardice, when you give up on fighting back. You only get to cry once from surprise, she used to say. And there is no time for cowardice. Well, I think she forgot that sometimes you cry because you've mustered up the courage to look at life how it is. Oh, if you're crying, I'm going to cry too. You'll never beat me at this game. I have a lot of practice.
Oh crap, Junon, I'm so sorry. You don't owe me anything. I guess I should leave you alone.
Yeah, well, haven't exactly made it easy for you.
But I'm not doing well, okay? Really, I'm not.
Wow. You don't get these heartfelt moments from him, ever. Since I left?
Let me show you something.
He wants to video chat. Oh, wow. This is, Did I ever tell you the story of the lookout? It's a very special place for us. We were driving. Alex, you and I. Alex was at the wheel. We were on our way back from a weekend at Marie's. What are you doing over there?
Do you recognize the place?
Of course I do. I'll never forget the lookout.
Every time I take this road, I have to stop. The other drivers don't get it, of course. They ask me if I need assistance, if I broke down or something. I'm just trying to enjoy the view. It's so beautiful. Today I came here just for that.
Why the sudden rush of nostalgia? Did you see the deer again?
No. I never saw the deer again. I'll never see the deer again. And that really, really sucks.
Alex? You're scaring me a bit. You don't look well.
I'm not well. You were right, you know. This whole time I thought I was helping you. I thought you needed me so you wouldn't crumble. But that was a goddamn lie. I was the one who needed you. Even before Astrid died, I needed you. Helped Junon with her tyrannical mother, helped Junon with her screenwriting career. Shows Junon how to be happy. A good one. It was easier for me to think you had issues. But I was the goddamn issue.
It can't be easy for him to realize this, but he has to. At least I hope so. You're not an issue, Alex.
And still you got out as soon as you had the chance. I know you can be forgetful when it suits you, but that's pushing it.
I remember getting in the car with you. I remember waking up in the hospital with Alex by my side. But what happened in between, apparently that's pretty common. During extreme events, your brain does not generate memories. It's too busy surviving. I survived, which I guess means that my brain worked really well. But since then, it's been mulling over this one question. Was it all my fault? I was half expecting your dad to hold it against me one day, anyway. But it doesn't hurt any less. That was really shitty.
I'm sorry. I'm just tired and sad. Do you want to know why I don't think about Astrid? The real reason? When I think about her, I say things to myself that hurt too much. That I will never see her again. That I will never hear her voice again. That I will never carry her to bed in my arms. How am I supposed to live with that?
If only I had the answer to that question. It takes time.
Yeah, that's it. It takes time. Except the more time passes, the worse it gets. And I'm getting tired of waiting.
What are you saying? Alex, what are you saying?
This place is as beautiful as ever, you know? Really beautiful. Bye, June. Good luck.
Alex, don't... Alex! Alex! Shit, I gotta get over there. Shit, Alex. I have a really bad feeling about this. Alex is strong, but... he didn't look well. I've never seen him like this. I could be imagining this, but if anything happens to him, I will never forgive myself. Do you remember the first time we made love?
How could I forget? Your arm got stuck as you took your shirt off, and you just stood there with your boobs out. That picture is forever etched in my memory. Beautiful.
Were you ever gonna come to my help?
Certainly not. I had waited so long for that moment. I was relishing it.
I will always love your father, you know. Forever. Being able to strip naked, completely naked, and feeling good anyway, that's rare. I hope that I will experience this feeling again one day with someone else. But I'm happy to have known that once in my life already. With him.
All right. You settled?
More or less.
And what are you up to? Are you writing again?
Shoot, Jan, how did you know?
Lady, this isn't rocket science. You're just like Mom. It's in your blood. Why do you think Alex has been pushing you all these years? You're the only one who's unaware that you're an artist.
For a long time, I thought Alex was pushing me to write out of mercy, because he thought that it would somehow fill a void in my life. It never occurred to me that maybe I was actually talented, and that he had figured it out.
You did what?
Oh, come on. I panicked. I just felt like something shady was about to happen. If you think I had any time to think. And also, I was drunk as a skunk, so...
You're insane? Completely insane?
You really think so?
Yeah. This is $3,000 whiskey. You could at least have saved me a glass.
You're so stupid. I never felt the need to lie to your father. I always told him everything, because I felt like he understood me. I can't just ignore other people's judgment. I'm not strong enough. But with Alex, I never felt judged. It's time to say goodbye to your dad, I guess. I mean, farewell to us. I can no longer be with him because your absence would take up too much space. And also because I realize now that our relationship had something kind of unhealthy. But that doesn't take away from who he is, or from what he gave me. Our story together is ending, but each of us still exists. And we're even stronger than before, because we've grown up, ready for a better rest of our lives. Shaken, transformed, rattled, but unbroken.
How am I supposed to live with that?
Today, it's your dad who feels like his heart is in a million pieces. And this time, I'm the one who can help him understand that it's not all broken. I don't know. What happened to us was as unfair as it gets. I understand why it looks impossible to overcome. But I also know that you will find a way. That's who you are, Alex. You always find solutions. I'm actually trying to learn that from him. Do you remember my stalker?
What are you talking about?
The guy on Facebook who used to send me dick pics throughout the day? You told me you would take care of it, and I was scared it would end up badly.
It did end badly. For him.
I still have no idea how you found his mom and his dad's home address. I would have loved to see their faces when they unrolled their kids' dick poster size.
It wasn't cheap, but it was worth it.
You'll be all right, Alex. Sometimes you need to let go of things you thought would be forever. But you're still here, unbreakable. And to be honest, Pauline is totally Eva Mendes.
Come on, you're stupid. You know I'm not actually Ryan Gosling, right?
Just let me live my fantasies, please.
Thank you, Junon. Do you think it was damaging, us being together?
To each other or to ourselves? You know what they say about falling in love? It's just finding someone whose parents messed up in similar ways how your parents messed up.
What about parents who messed us up, but we can't really put a finger on how? Do they count?
They count double. They're the worst, just like the others.
I'm sorry for what I said about Marie. I hope she gets better.
It's okay, Alex. I'm not going to blame you for always being on my side.
You know, you should go see her in our room. 'cause you never know.
You're right. Of course he's right. Then why is it so hard?
Junon, I need to tell you something. I know that you don't remember the accident, and I know you can't help it. And I know it's not fair, but I resent you for that. And it scares me.
I'd like to believe that knowing what happened that day wouldn't change a thing. But I know that's not true. Because there are only two options. Either my daughter is dead, or I killed my daughter. Scares.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel really angry. I think that not knowing is driving me crazy. So if one day you do remember something, anything really, please tell me.
I don't know if I will, but I'll try, Alex. I promise.
You don't owe me a thing, June. You already gave me the best years of my life.
Damn! Pulitzer Prize for wisdom!
No, I'm competing in the batshit conclusion Olympics. I've got to go, June.
Don't do anything stupid, okay?
What? No way. I would never. Did I sound that depressed to you?
A little bit, yeah. But I could be projecting.
I just need to... I'm going to call Pauline, actually. Say hi to Diane for me. And... good luck with your mom. It's going to be okay.
I think so too. I'll talk to you soon, Alex. Whew. What a conversation. But I think it really helped us. Really. Why couldn't we talk like this before? That depends on what before we're talking about here. Before you were born? Before you died? Before we split up, I think we didn't feel like talking anymore. At all. Alex was paralyzed with fear. Talking about what happened made things too real. Me, on the other hand, I didn't know what was left to say. I miss you a lot, you know? Hey, what are you doing here? Did you follow me? It's forbidden to be here. Hey, wait! Where are these kids' parents? Come back! That could be dangerous! Oof! I haven't run this much since high school. Hey! Can you hear me? Hello? This kid, I swear. Anyone here? There she is. What is she up to? Hey, get down from there! It's dangerous!
Don't worry, Mom. It's fine.
No, no, no. I've got to get out of here. Seriously though, what is happening? Am I going crazy? What happened that day? There's no way I forgot everything. It's gotta be there somewhere. But it's still such a blur.
We'll Will you be sticking around this time, or are you gonna run away again?
What the hell is happening?
Hey, what's up with the curse words? Are they allowed now?
Did you just hear what I was thinking?
Are you surprised? You've been talking to me in your head for years. Was I supposed to leave you hanging forever?
Is it really you?
Nope. It couldn't possibly be the real me, seeing how I'm... you know... dead. Like Dad used to say, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. Just make sure you think before you ask.
So what are you? A ghost? Oh, maybe I'm finally going crazy.
I'm not a ghost. At least, I don't think so. Let's just say that I'm here. Isn't that good enough?
It's more than good enough, my little fawn. This is the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Probably the most worrying thing also.
Mom, am I really scaring you right now?
Hey, don't do that! Did nobody teach you it's rude to read people's minds?
How about you stop thinking and talk to me instead?
I'm so happy to see you.
So am I. And I think you're very pretty.
Oh, thank you, little fawn. I only sleep about 5 hours a night. My hair is so dirty that it won't budge even if I untie it, and I'm smoking more than the Amazon rainforest under Bolsonaro.
I've noticed. That's very bad, by the way. That stuff kills, Mom.
Would that be so bad?
Lame! If you really were gonna kill yourself, wouldn't you have done it by now?
You're pretty sharp for an imaginary kid.
Come on, let's check out what's upstairs. Oh, wow. The view's really nice.
Astrid. I'm sorry, Astrid.
Sorry for what?
You know.
I have no idea. I don't read minds anymore. My mom raised me better than that.
That's cute, little fawn. I'm so sorry about... That wasn't a joke.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's just... Do you remember what happened?
Of course I do. I was driving you to Mina's birthday party. And...
Okay, I know that. But how did it happen? See? That's why I was laughing. You totally forgot how it happened. For all you know, we were struck by a meteor through the windshield or something. So I ask again. Why are you sorry?
Stop it. I know what you're trying to do, but whatever happened, it was me, Astrid. It was my fault.
All right. You're not ready to talk. You need more time to think.
Astrid. Come back. Needs more time to think. What did she mean by... What am I even talking about? I'm mulling over my dead daughter's imaginary advice? I'm going off the deep end here. I'm starting to remember, but it's still so blurry. As if What does it mean to be a mother? Is it being 100% focused on your child? Is it always knowing what to do? Never having any doubt? Is it sacrificing your ambitions? If you do all that, are you automatically a good mom? And what if you don't manage it? Does that make you a bad mom? I've asked myself all of these questions a lot. Do you want to try and find an answer together? Good mom? Bad mom? Maybe I should start with telling you the fun moments. That was the year before you were born. Alex had been on my ass to get in touch with the friend of a cousin of one of his friends who was a producer. Anyway, I was supposed to schedule a meeting with him during the next Cannes festival. I wasn't planning on going to Cannes at all. But I did what I was told. I managed to slip into a party where I eventually met the guy, and it worked out! Yeah! We spent the night smoking cigs, sounding off about the worst turkeys from the festival, and a few weeks later, I was writing a spec for a series. It kind of came out of nowhere. I was feeling gunky and I was a bit late, so I decided to take a test without putting too much stock into it. And here is the picture I sent to your dad. I remember that the stick wasn't even dry yet. Can you imagine the surprise? I'll admit that back then, I didn't know whether I would be pregnant one day. Your dad and I hadn't really planned it this way. We'd been talking for a while about having a kid one day, but that was only a plan. In the meantime, we were being careful, but we obviously hadn't met you yet. Of course, a mere condom wasn't going to stop you. As soon as I saw the test, my head exploded, my little fawn. I was happy. Just happy. Nothing else. It was an incredible feeling. I was so fired up by your birth. I felt like I was high on drugs. I was taking care of you, working, seeing friends. I was living. Alex and I even became involved in politics. We were trading weekends to attend climate marches. I was ready to fight to make a change in the world. Thus, within the span of a year, I delivered 2 babies. Astrid, in January, just over 8 pounds, hungry as a wolf, and a mug to die for. And then, my first professional screenplay in August. 47 pages. A veritable leap forward in my career. All of a sudden, things just fell into place. I was a screenwriter. I was getting paid for writing. Sure, it was a crappy series, but that turd paid very well. I was so proud of everything that was happening to me. And at the same time, I lost sleep over it for weeks. Because there were some dark thoughts too. The ones your light could not dispel. A couple of months before you were born, Marie showed up with a cardboard box under her arm. She had found the mobile. When I was preparing for your arrival, I hung it above your crib. After you were born, I would spend hours watching it turn every time you breathed. It was always moving, finding its balance. Wonderful. Alive. Just like you, and also so fragile. Way too delicate. A mere gust of wind could have shattered it to a million pieces. Just like you. I found it adorable that Marie came to bring us this mobile. And yet, I was scared when I learned I was pregnant. I was scared at the mere idea of telling her. It was beyond me. I panicked. So I decided to hide you for as long as I could. Obviously, she eventually noticed that she was jumping for joy. Why had I been so scared? It seemed so silly. 58 tons per year. A kid equals 58 tons of carbon dioxide per year. That's the same as 58 plane trips to New York and back, or burning 50 tons of coal. Having a baby in this world, as everything was collapsing around us, that was a stupid idea. You didn't really get the chance to witness it, but this is a funny time we're living in. Imagine having an incredible daughter and a job you've wanted forever, and then you get glued to a screen, and it bums you out. I would see people on social media, people I would never even have heard of in real life. And they were great parents, great artists, working on great stuff, having great success. Everybody seemed way ahead of me. And it felt like it was my fault for being so behind. How dared I aspire to being happy? I know breastfeeding while on a cell phone isn't exactly what you picture from a perfect mother. Well, that only happened once, or maybe twice, or a bunch of times, actually. I loved connecting with you, It was a magnetic force. Time disappeared when I looked into your eyes. But sometimes I was overwhelmed by everything else. The earth that keeps on spinning, the anxiety of not doing enough, projects at a standstill while others are going full speed, and then the fear that it would all stop. That's always a little bit there. But I think I was stronger than that in the end. Oh, wow. I just remembered something that happened years ago. I guess I was 16 or 17 years old. I was in my room, staring at this mobile. Marie was in the next room, the living room, giving an interview. It was a first. I overheard her talking to the journalist with a soft voice. She was obviously trying to win her over. It was funny at first. She was giving all these juicy details about the crazy nights of a female artist in the 80s. And then she said she got pregnant after one of those nights. And at that time, she seriously thought about giving up the child. And suddenly, I understood that that child, the one she didn't want, that mistake, that was me. For me, being a mom was one of the greatest joys in my life. I wanted to feel you growing inside of me and then meet you and live all that, the whole experience. And writing was the same. I really wanted to do it, and then I actually did. I wanted these things. I bore them and I cherished them. But I struggled with them too, because I was scared. I had doubts, but really most of all I had this lingering feeling that maybe I shouldn't have been there. And when I lost you, and writing had lost its meaning, that feeling came back with a vengeance. This feeling, this knowledge that whatever I do, it is not enough.
Why are you sorry?
It's hard to be a good parent when you're a damaged adult. You become responsible for a life. That requires courage, confidence, and a lot of nerve. And it's really easy to get it wrong.
What does that mean?
How can I explain? For the first few months of your life, you were like an extension of me. You couldn't talk, you couldn't walk, you could barely see, actually. And I was feeding you out of my own body.
Yuck.
Yeah, yuck! Having your life in my hands. That funny feeling. That's what being a mom was all about to me. And then one day, I read a book.
A book? Not a movie?
Nope. No moving images, just tiny written words.
What was it?
Heart Snatcher by Boris Vian. A weird and poetic book. Also terrifying, in a way. Very, very grim.
That sounds fun.
Well, actually, it's great. And perhaps you will read it one day. You'll never read it.
You're right. I won't. But you can still tell me about it.
All right. Well, there's this character named Clémentine. She gives birth to triplets and gives them these stupid names. As they grow up, she starts to behave increasingly strangely.
Such as?
She cuts down trees in her backyard because she thinks that the triplets might climb them and get hurt. So why risk it? And that's not all.
What else?
She locks them up in cages.
Her kids?
Yes. They're nice cages, though. Very comfortable.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
They don't like it any more than you, but it gets worse.
It does?
She starts imagining things, these situations where horrible things happen to the kids.
Okay. I understand why you might enjoy this book.
What makes you say that?
No reason. Does she do any other weird stuff?
She eats rotten meat.
Ew! Mom, what is this book?
I told you, it's weird.
Why is she doing that?
At first, she does it so that the kids get the best bits. But after a while, she starts to think that if something bad happens to her, then her kids will be spared. She would be sort of like a lightning rod, you know?
All I know is that this sounds really weird.
Definitely. But I remember reading that part sitting in the bedroom, and I looked at you sleeping in the crib, and what she was doing started making sense.
For real?
I knew it was crazy, but the idea of doing anything for your children, of never failing because you've done everything, I found that amazing. There was just one thing I didn't know yet. The most important part of being a parent, and also the hardest lesson to learn. You need to trust your children.
Trust them to read non-weird books?
Trust them to live. You weren't there so I could feel like a good mother. You were there to live your life, to become yourself. It seems obvious, doesn't it? But I didn't see it. So I spent a lot of my time feeling guilty. Telling myself that I didn't deserve you.
What? I don't believe it. I was your biggest fan, you know?
Really?
Of course. You're relentless. You even found the time to work on your scripts. You were working your ass off to make your stories amazing while you were busy taking care of me. How did you manage to be strong like that?
I mean, your father was there as well.
I know! Imagine! 2 kids at home!
Oh, come on.
Mom, you know I love Dad with all my heart. But in my view, he probably regards mental fortitude as a kind of superpower.
Okay. It was really hard. I almost gave up so many times. My career wasn't going where I wanted, certainly not as fast as I wanted, but I held on. I was just happy to write. After years of writer's block, everything unlocked all at once. I think it was your arrival that liberated me somehow. Every morning was magical. I'd grab you in my arms. You'd smile back. You trusted me. I had no more doubt, no more questions. I knew exactly who I was. No one had ever looked at me that way. What an incredible gift.
It's just a shame you spent your best years writing for soap opera.
Wow, you do a great Marie impression. It's a bit silly, isn't it?
What is?
All of this, me talking to you right now. You're not even real.
Hey! Just because I'm dead doesn't mean you can be rude.
Marie is on death's door and I'm out here chatting with my daughter's ghost?
I told you I'm not a ghost. And I love chatting with you, just getting to know you better.
It's a little late for that, don't you think?
It's never too late for a good story. That's what you always said.
I say a lot of stupid stuff.
And if you'd written down half the ones you told me at bedtime, you'd be rich. Do you remember the one with the horse tribe that does karate?
Ninja Palooza?
Yeah, it was so good. And the duck who kept solving crimes around the farm while drunk.
Inspector Drunkass. No one is going to publish that.
That's too bad. It would be a lot better than Marie's books of Russian folk tales.
Those books were a snooze fest.
Right?
Then why did you hug her so hard every time she bought you a new set?
Because you can be a child and still know how to be diplomatic. Where are you up to with your script?
I haven't looked at it in ages.
Is your job for Grandma taking too much time?
Getting myself out of bed is taking too much time.
Oh, come on, stop it. The whole depressive thing doesn't suit you.
And, to be honest, I'm not too fond of the whole petulant tween thing. I liked it better when you were 4 years old.
What are you going to do? Give me a spanking?
No, I suppose you're too old for that. Oh, you've grown up so much. A proper mini Astrid Hofferson.
Astrid Hofferson? Who's that?
It's a long story.
Ah, my favorite kind.
Okay, but I know you, so you can't interrupt me, okay?
Okay.
When I was pregnant, I spent a lot of time at home. And I used that time to watch a lot of movies.
All thanks to me.
Exactly. You weren't even born yet, but I already loved you so much. Except one day, the internet went down. So, I was forced to comb through your father's nerdy DVDs. And the best I could find was this cartoon.
Now hold on a second. What's wrong with cartoons?
The opinions of a Peppa Pig fan mean nothing to me. Although, you are right. It was really good.
What was it? What was it about?
It was called How to Train Your Dragon. It was about dragons.
I love dragons.
Of course you do. I don't. Dragons are tacky. But there was this great character in the movie.
Astrid Hofferson.
No interrupting.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, Astrid Hofferson. She was a young and courageous Viking. Her belt was made of skulls.
So cool. So she's the hero?
Of course not. The hero is a bumbling idiot who we're supposed to sympathize with just because he has a shitty father. Let's not forget, the movie was written by a bunch of Hollywood guys. But still, Astrid is a great character. Especially because she has a really useful asset. She's a warrior. People try to tie her up with all these rules, and that doesn't stop her. Not only that, she becomes the best in spite of the rules. And when they change the rules, she's still the best. Because she believes in herself enough that she can question herself.
Wow.
And she's also really supportive of Harold, the idiot hero. When he is doubting himself, she's there for him. Not to snuggle, though. Quite the reverse. She shakes him up. She chews him out. All of this leading up to the realization that he can make it on his own. I thought that was beautiful. I told your dad that night and he laughed. He said he'd always loved that character, too.
And that's why my name is Astrid?
It is. We were hoping you would become a warrior, a rebel, sensitive and smart. Someone like Astrid Hofferson.
Someone like you.
Excuse me?
Don't be modest. You've done pretty well so far.
Wait, what do you mean by so far?
Well, with Auntie Jan and Dad. You struggled for a bit, but eventually you managed to find the right words. That was impressive.
Well, not really. I kind of suck.
Hey! That's my mother you're talking about. And it's not true. I mean, look at me. I turned out okay.
Oh, my little fawn. Before you were born, I was so eager. For the first time, I was doing something really good. So I poured my whole heart into it. I quit everything. Drinking, smoking, eating shit food. I attended all these really boring medical appointments. I even tried yoga. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow. You did.
Yeah. And when you were born, when I held you in my arms, I knew that I was right. We were meant to be in each other's lives. And I didn't even begrudge you the episiotomy.
I don't think I want to know what an episiotomy is.
You are correct. You absolutely do not. When you were born, I knew only one thing. I'd never be alone again. That's how it was supposed to be. But I screwed it up. I was a shitty parent. Just like I was a shitty daughter and a shitty wife. And I lost you.
Mom, stop. You didn't lose me. You really think that what, disappeared?
I abandoned you. And I think about it all the time, whenever I close my eyes.
What happens when you close your eyes?
I hear the sirens.
Oh, like Odysseus?
Not those sirens, my little phone. The emergency sirens. I see the crown of your hair, sparkling like a tiny sunshine on the tarmac. And then, I see your open eyes. How can I ever be happy with that tattooed on my eyelids?
Mom, maybe you should stop thinking about it. Thinking about it like that, I mean.
I don't want to. I mustn't. If I stopped thinking about it, that would be like killing you all over again. Astrid? Don't leave me, Astrid. I don't want you to leave. I know. That's what I need to focus on. I think it's coming back. Yes, it is. Just try a little harder, Junon. I need to dig deeper.